What is up, heroes? This is Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play 999 Blind. In the last episode, we had a little bit of a close little ship moment with Clover, and we were learning, rather sharing a lot of information with Ace, and now it looks like it's our turn to listen to what he has to say about something called the CAS, the CAS. I'm really not sure what to expect here, but it seems like we're trying to piece a lot of the different puzzles of the story together. And I do want to say real quick before we get into the episode, thank you to those of you who watched the entirety of the last episode and were able to respond to my comments at the end. I appreciate your support, whether, regardless of how much I'm feeling the game, etc., and understanding that sometimes I'm just not in the mood, for example. But all right, let's hop into this. CAS?
CAS セルズアライブシステムの頭文字を取ったもので
Huh. It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter. Kind of like...
要するに細胞を生かしたまま凍らせる技術のことだ
Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. I'm having a hard time buying it, admittedly. I don't know how you can freeze water without formation of crystals. I'm all ears, Ace.
生鮮食品を凍らせると細胞内の水分が膨張して細胞膜を傷つけてしまう
Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expands as it crystallizes, damaging the cell membrane.
だがキャスレートを使えばそうはならない
CAS, however, works differently.
過冷却状態にしてから瞬時に凍らせるため細胞膜を守ることができるんだ
The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields, and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. I don't buy this at all. I don't buy this at all. I know they're like interesting, transitions in states of matter, right? And sublimation, for example, is where you can jump straight from solid to gas, but when you're moving from, liquid to solid, you're literally compressing the different particles together. And the whole reason ice forms is because of the different water molecules repelling one another, actually, because they're essentially being forced close together, and without the flexibility that liquid provides, which is why you get that expansion. So even if they're super cooled, I don't know.
もともとは冷凍保存によって食品の味が劣化してしまうのを防ぐために開発されたものだが
Like, you could maybe argue that if you instantly supercool them, remove all energy, like absolute zero, they'll completely stop moving. But even then, I feel like it's not like the particles are in equilibrium with one another, right? It's not like there won't be your typical electrostatic forces, your London forces, etc., that will be uneven throughout this distribution and naturally move things into some sort of configuration. It's alright, this is 999's universe. It doesn't necessarily work under the same laws as ours, so let's hear what Ace has to say. Ace isn't a chemist, so I'm not sure I'll get the explanation I really want to hear, but at the very least, we should try and understand this for the sake of deducing things within this world. It was originally developed for the preservation of food as an alternative to the normal freezing process.
全く異なった別の分野での応用も始まっている
Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things.
別の分野って
What do you mean, other things?
例えば医療とかあるいは宇宙開発とか
Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel.
宇宙開発
Space travel? Are you serious? I mean, I feel like the implication here is you can store food more effectively in lower space or with better preservation of quality or something like that.
コールドスリープって聞いたことがあるだろ
Ah, surely you've heard of suspended animation, cryogenic freezing?
SF ものの映画や小説なんかでしばしば
That's what I was thinking of earlier.
用いられるものだ
It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and
長
films.
期間に及ぶ宇宙旅行を凍ったままの状態で過ごすという例のあれだよ。
People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space. That was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting.
ちょっと待ってくれ。
Whoa. Wait a minute there. Ace looked at him and raised an eyebrow.
もしかしてお前アリスがそのキャスレートとかいうやつで。
Is this really even up for, discussion at the moment, Junpei? Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that cast thing?
可
Probably.
能性は極めて低いが考えられないこともないだろう。
Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. Given the whole narrative of this story thus far, all the information we've heard, and the fact that it's all probably related, I would crank up that possibility, rather probability, to pretty
ア
high.
イスナインという特殊な氷が本当に存在するとして、
If this special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist,
さらにその氷が過冷却状態から一気に凍りついたものだったとしたら、
and if casts were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously,
アリスが生きてるっていうのか？
you think she could be alive?
断言はできない。できないし、するつもりもない。
Well, I can't say for sure, of course.
私はただ可能性のうちの一つとして言っているだけだよ。
I'm only talking about possibilities. I think the question would be something at least that immediately comes to mind for me is, how is Alice melted, right? How is Alice brought back to a normal functioning life state, right? You could claim she's alive because she hasn't died or her organs are completely functional, etc. But as I currently see it, she's not able to do a lot of the basic functions of living things, like reproduce or obtain nutrition and such. You could argue maybe that there's no such need for most of those functions, or there's no such need for such a function, but the way I see it, in order to perform a lot of typical characteristic or functions that are characteristic of living things, there's currently a need for some external source. Meaning, honestly, it's more akin to something like a virus, which isn't quite alive, but is definitely very close to being something that could be considered so. Maybe the sciencey people listening have some thoughts on that they'd want to share. Because honestly, it's really interesting to think. I know that there are very classically like 5 characteristics of what makes something alive, and one of them is the ability to reproduce, for example. Another one might be the ability to obtain nutrition for yourself, etc., etc. But yeah, interesting thing worth thinking about, I guess.
アイスナインの融点は36度なんだろ。
The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right?
だとしたら、その温度を超えるようなところに彼女が保管されていたとすれば、
If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature,
そんなバカな。自然に溶けて動き出したとでも言うのか？
that's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about?
バカなことを言っているというのは十分承知しているさ。
You're quite right. It does sound
だ
unbelievable.
がね、そう考えれば、隣の部屋に横たわっている男の件を説明できるんだよ。
Actually, something that this reminds me of as well is the cyst form of a lot of bacteria. So a lot of bacteria will be, active when the environment is correct, but should they sense a lot of environmental stress, there are certain bacteria that will become cysts, which are highly resilient structures that until the environment is just right again, they will stay in that form. But of course, if the environment is right, they'll revert back to their older form. However, again, would that classify as something like that? That would technically put them in more of an alive state than I had given credit for earlier. Again, interesting to think about. We always assume, like, oh, she's, like, alive, like, typical, because she's a human. But when you make such drastic, different changes to something, you really do have to reconsider just about everything. Regardless. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the
あ
floor.
の船長服を着た男のことか。
You mean the guy dressed like a captain?
ああそうだ。
Yes.
奴は死んでいた。殺されたことは明らかだ。
He was dead when we found him. Clearly, he was murdered.
では、奴を殺したのは一体誰なのか。
But if he was murdered, then by whom?
我々7人の中には存在しない。犯行が不可能だからだ。
It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible.
船長室へと入るにはまず1の扉を開かなければならない。
In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1.
その1の扉へと至る通路は地球の鍵穴があるドアによって塞がれていた。
That door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1.
その鍵を開けたのは誰だったかな。
Who was it that opened that door?
サンタとヤシロだ。
Santa and Lotus.
そのようだな。
Right.
その2人だけでは1の扉は開けない。
Clearly, the two of them could not have opened door 1 or any other door for that matter.
ならばその後はどうだろう。誰が1の扉を開けたものは。
Who else then could have done so? To be fair, it should also be worth considering that if someone were a sort of mastermind, if someone were Zero in this particular case and one of us, which may or may not be the case, it's also very possible that they have a skeleton key and can access any door they want to, despite not having the, correct planet's key for that door. Junpei thought for a second.
いないな。
Nobody.
サンタとヤシロンは地球の鍵を使ってドアを開けた後、Eデッキから戻ってきた俺たちと合流した。
After Santa and Lotus used the Earth Key, they turned back and met up with me and June.
そして大病室で1、セブン、四つ葉と再会。
Then we returned to the large hospital room and found Ace, Seven, and Clover.
俺たち4人がシャワー室にいる間、1人、セブン、四つ葉の3人は大病室で待機していた。
While we'd gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven, and Clover had stayed behind.
その3人では1の扉を開くことはできない。
But it's impossible for those three to open door 1.
それなら俺と紫がエレベーターに乗り込み、2の扉を調べに行った時は
What about when June and I took the elevator to door 2?
やはり無理だ。
Nah, still wouldn't work.
その時間はほんの5分程度で、とてもじゃないが誰かが船長室に行って戻ってくるのは不可能だった。
We were gone only 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed that guy in there, and run back that fast. But maybe, just maybe, if it were a blue hedgehog, it would have been possible. Sega, are you behind this game? Sonic, are you Zero?
我々7人の中に犯人はいないことになる。
It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer.
だとしたら、あの男を殺したのは一体誰なんだ。
That being the case, who could have killed him?
はるか昔からこの船に隠れ潜んでいた人物と考えれば説明がつくんじゃないかね。
Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time?
そいつは船内の構造について熟知していた。
A person like that would know the ship well.
排気ダクトやそれと似たような隠し通路の存在も全て知っていた。
They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors, assuming there are.
もしもそうだとすると、そいつにとってはナンバリングドアなんてものは何の意味もなさないことになる。
Wait a minute, the number door would mean nothing to someone like that. If this is the argument for why Alice potentially killed the captain, doesn't this just mean that any person amongst one of us who happens to know the ship better than the others, for example, people who had been on this ship before in a previous experiment, or the mastermind, aka Zero, who could be hiding amongst us, couldn't they also know those nooks and crannies and be able to kill the captain? I'm not seeing this argument come together.
隣の船長室に入るのもたやすいことだっただろう。
It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters.
それがアリスだっていうのか。
Then you're saying the killer was Alice? It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully.
あくまでも可能性のうちの一つとしてだがね。
Well, this is all only one possible theory. All ice. Alice.
アリスは本当にこの船のどこかにいるのか。
Is she really somewhere on the ship? Junpei! Junpei, don't you know you're the protagonist of a visual novel? Of course she's on the ship. Junpei had only one clue. The key card in his hand.
おそらくこのカードキーを使えば知識の森に踏み込むことができる。
Maybe this card will give me access to the Forest of Knowledge.
その先は
And the big
知
mystery.
識の森を抜けた先には一体何があるっていうか。
What could be there beyond the Forest of Knowledge?
いずれにせよこの場でどうにかなるような問題じゃないな。
Anyway, whatever. It's gonna have to wait. I can't do anything right now.
今考えるのはやめておこ
I'll come back to this later. He gripped the keycard tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. Okay, new material has been added to the file screen. So what do we have here? A unique key. That is indeed a very unique key. Let's search it. A key with a leather case. It isn't metal. My guess would be ceramic. Junpei, have you found a keyhole that might fit it? We probably have, but it's been a few days since I last played, so let's try and think real quick. I don't remember a keyhole for something ceramic. We unlocked the drawer with the Morse code and all that. Is it in maybe one of the other rooms? Is it there? Was it somewhere else in here? Maybe in one of these drawers? What's the deal with this? Is it some kind of code? There are 4 rows of numbers and letters. They all start with a 0 and end with 8, F, N, or V, respectively. Huh. So... I mean, obviously it's like the various digits and then the alphabet, but I wonder why. Maybe this has something to do with number bases. New material has been added to the file screen. All right, let's take a look what they want us to know about number bases. Should I go to item? No. It's under menu. Okay. The numerical system chart, maybe? Yeah. So what do they want us to talk about? This chart showed the rules for each numeral system. Okay, so we're talking what, base 16 here? And then potentially what? Base 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, base 24. And then 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So just various multiples of 8, it seems. 8, 16, 24, 32. I'm still not sure exactly what the, the meaning of that is, but this is one of those things that switches what's on the screen. Let's see what happens if I flip one of those switches. Nothing. Looks like it doesn't work anymore. Alright, what about the monitor? There's an E on this screen, there's a Z on this one, R, O, and then... Hey, isn't the door on the screen the one right behind us? Yeah, I mean, did you not see the camera, Junpei? You're right. So whatever that camera sees is sent to this screen in real time. I wonder if that means something, you know? Nothing on the monitor, just static. Oh, that's static? I thought it looked like text to me. What about the drawers on the side? Can we do anything with them? No, it doesn't seem so. Chair looks a little lonely. They look like batteries. There's a cable running from them to the monitor. Where else could we use the ceramic key? Is there a drawer in here? Nope. Small table. A lamp. Nothing to see here. Are you sure, Junpei, though? Are you sure? I wanted to click the arrow. How about the bed? I'm pretty sure we inspected all this. Kind of creeping me out. Actually, looks like something... No, that's just the normal stitching. I thought something might have been like sewn in there. Can we do something here? Can we use the key? The control panel for the electric lock looks like it's got a keyhole in the bottom right. Maybe the key I got earlier. Hey, there we go. Sweet, just had to put that key in and now it's on. Forgive me, got a little bit of water. Junpei, look. There's a minus sign on the screen. There are 8 of them. And that probably means we've got to put in 8 digits. Do you think you could figure it out? So... what do they want to put in? So I've obviously got to take these numbers, right? I've got to do this here and do something with that. Which digits do they want, though? I feel like it has to do something with 0, right? Z-E-R-O. And then these 4 rows here. I mean, like, technically each of these rows could be considered one number from, you know, left to right, but do they maybe just want us to pick the last digit per se? So, for example, 8 is just ending at 8, so it would be something like 08, and then F would be ending at 15. N would be ending at, what, 23, and V would be ending at 31. That's all I can really think of at the moment, and maybe 0 is just some way to organize them. Either way, I'm curious. 8 digits, huh? Once I put in the 8-digit number, I press the E to enter it. And if I mess it up, I can just press C. Alright, let's give it a shot. Cool. So, 0, 8, 1, 5... oh, wait, no, I already messed it up, right? Or no, 0, 8, 8 would be right. Although, wouldn't that... oh, that would mean it would be base 9. Regardless, 15, and then 23, and then 31. And that was incorrect. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Huh? What's the passcode? I'm pretty sure I've searched every part of this room by now. So that's basically the game's way of telling me I should know what I am supposed to do. I'm fairly confident the 0 here is indicating some sort of order. It looks like alphabetically it would be maybe like the last one, then the second one, or last one, then the first one, then the third one? Yeah. Last one, first one, third one, second one. Maybe that's the case. Just from how 0 is like alphabetically ordered, and then assuming each row of this chart is ordered from, you know, shortest to longest, or basically some ordering from one end to the other end, much like the alphabet is ordered from, you know, one character to the other end. So 10 in base 10 is written as A in hexadecimal, therefore 11 is B, 12 is C, 13 is D, 14 is E, and so on. This chart showed the rules for each numeral system. I don't know exactly. Maybe they just want me to spell 0 as if, you know, Z were whatever it is in some base system higher that goes beyond whatever digit Z is, and then E would, whatever that would be in, you know, whatever base system that goes beyond base, I think 15. So, alright, so what would Z be? If this is base 32, right? So V would be 31, TUV, W, X, Y, and Z, right? So that would be 4 more. So Z would be 35. E would be 14. I should probably write these down. I don't have a pen readily available though. So we got 35, which makes sense given there are 10 digits and 26 letters of the alphabet. Although wouldn't that make Z number 36? I feel like that would. Got 10, and then that would be number 36. So maybe it's 36. I must somehow miscounted or something. Regardless, E then would be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. R would be what? So I'm just gonna group 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, 16, 17, 18. I feel like that's not right. Oh, it's 18 past the 10 digits, so it would be 28. Okay. So R would be 28, E is 14, Z is 36, and then O would be what? If R is 28, then O should be 25. Alright, let's give that a go. So we said Z was 36. Don't worry, I got it, Junpei. Z should be 36. E was 14. R was 28. And then O was 25. I think. Yeah. Let's try it. That wasn't correct either. Zero. Maybe I'm gonna do this real quick just for the sake of it. Okay, that's not right either. What else might it be? I feel like I've got the right idea. I'm not so sure that there's anything else we should really be using at this point. I mean, there's information about Alice, but I don't think that's what we're really aiming for. Again, we take a look at this. So we have base 9 on top, yeah, and then we have base 16. I feel like what they want us to do is convert each of those letters to a 2-digit number in base 10, and then input those numbers as the passcode in the order of the letters 0, right? I feel like that's got to be the case. If there are 26 letters in the alphabet and Z is the last one, it would be 26 after the original 10 digits. So that would be 36. E, we can see, is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. R, I mean, I can count again, just for the sake of it. Here we go. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Wow! Nice. Nice going, me. And that would make O 24. You guys are probably really upset about that. Okay. Can I do the thing though? Okay, cool. So 36, and then E is 14, R is 27, O is 24. And that's not it? What else? What else do they want? So they give us numbers in... There's no way they want us to convert them, right? Crap, wrong again. Hey, Junpei, didn't you find a list of numbers and letters? Don't you think that might be a clue? Huh? Oh yeah, I had no idea, Clover. Thanks for the heads up. I'm probably overthinking it or something. I feel like they don't want us to convert each of these. I mean, these numbers are way bigger than two digits in most bases. What do they want us to do here? maybe I'm gonna think on this one for a couple minutes. All I can think of is maybe they want us to figure out that it's maybe like, oh, it's base 9, and then it's base 16, and then it's what? What'd I say? Base 24, and then base 32? Is that maybe what they want us to input? Because that's honestly all I can think of. I'll try it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try it. It's 09, and then it's base 16, and then it's base 24, and then it's base 32. That's not correct either. What do they want us to do? So, I don't know if my like counting is off, if I'm just like tired and being silly about this, but let's see here. So Z is the last letter of the alphabet. Right? It should definitely correspond to letter 26, which coming after the 10 digits should be 36. Why is it then? Maybe. So that would make R 28, right? But then why do I count weirdly? So let's see here. Just going from A all the way up to R, right? We've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. What am I overlooking? What am I overlooking? I mean, that would mean that R would be 17th. Oh, I guess it's because I'm starting with 10, which would correspond to starting counting with 0, right? So if R is 27, that would mean Z should be 35. Similarly, E should be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. E should be 14. And O should be 24. I feel like that's supposed to be the solution here. Unless there's something, I'm making some stupid mistake somewhere. It should be 35, 14, 27, 24. I'm fairly confident I already tried that. I'll give it another go, but 35, 14, 27, 24. What? I swear I tried that at some point. Did I not try that? Wow, that was probably incredibly frustrating for you guys to watch. I'm sorry. I would be incredibly frustrated watching that. The whole time I was like, okay, so like they're telling us Z, E, R, and O should correspond to a 2-digit number based on what they would be in a base system that goes beyond that digit. And I just gotta input them. And for some reason my counting was messed up or something like that. I'm sorry guys, I'm tired. And I don't even know what happened there. But regardless, the lock is opened. I was like, am I overthinking it? Is there something I'm just like that's that obvious that I'm missing? Or like I was fairly confident I had that idea down, and I just must have been missing a letter or something as I was counting, or yeah, that was. Sorry about that. Yes, it worked. Whoa, that jump though. Good job, Junpei. Excellent, you seem to have unlocked it. Good work, Junpei. Alright, let's go. So, now we open the door and we're out. So maybe to somebody who is unfamiliar with like different number bases and stuff like that, that would be a pretty obscure ending to a puzzle. But I feel like I just screwed that up somehow. Otherwise, exploring the different rooms was really cool. Obviously, the conversations that were had in these rooms were really, really neat. I think the whole Morse code idea was pretty neat, even though I don't think it was realized to its full potential. But I still think that kind of sums up my opinion of a lot of the escape rooms thus far, is they touch on interesting concepts and have some neat ideas, but they don't really drive them home or bring out their full potential, in my opinion at least. That said, we've escaped the captain's quarters. We're able to go meet up with our friends now and tell them about the dead body we encountered, and hopefully get some more information. Hopefully we can actually go to the library and see what's up with Alice, potentially, and maybe if she's not there, start to get pretty worried about where she may be on the ship. So I'm looking forward to more story aspects, and I hope you guys are as well. But until the next episode, this is Moon Knight Zero, and this mission is complete.